Hey guys, Jason Timothy here, musicsoftwaretraining.com. I'm going to show you how to make bass out of pretty much any sound. This way you don't have to go hunting for bass sounds all the time. You could make your own and you can make some really good ones. These are the sounds that we're going to use. You can basically use almost any sound. Drum hits work really well. So we've just got a snare, tom, conga. I'm just going to drag one of these sounds here into MIDI track. And now we've got a simpler instrument. We want to switch this over to a sampler. So just right click, simpler to sampler. And the reason we have that is because we want to be able to get into looping here. So we're just going to hit this sustain mode here. Now we can move this loop area into a really, really small space, right? And what we're going to want to do is turn this snap off here. And this will allow us to just kind of move the looper wherever we want. We basically want these linked here. So I'm going to hit link. That way it starts right on this. And then we're just going to find a waveform. So strangely, you can basically put these anywhere. To get more of a seamless sort of thing, you could put it right on the 0 points, right where it crosses this thin line. And then we can get, doesn't sound very special. But then we're going to go into our filter and we're going to turn up our filter envelope. So this is going to quickly go from high to low here. And in order to activate this, what we want to do is bring this filter down. And now we've got some bass tones. Little floppy on the lower side, but. And then we could play with resonance. We could even change the type of circuit. If we turn the resonance up, we could really hear the difference in the different circuits. Right? We could adjust that. So that's about as simple as it is to get a bass tone started here. We could turn this envelope down a little bit so we get a little more bite if we want. And then the next thing we're going to do is we've got our pitch envelope. We're going to turn this up so we get a little bit more bite. Let's turn it up 2 octaves, so 24. And then we just back off this decay, make it faster. So that's with it. This is off. So whichever you prefer. I like to keep it at 24. And there we go. We have a bass sound. Now we could change the tone now just by moving this waveform, right? So and we could also, we could bring this in further. And get a wide variety of tones. And I know we're getting different pitches, so once we kind of find what we like, we come over to our audio effects and just grab a tuner and try to get this close. So since this is an A, we're going to change the root note. There, and then we're going to just detune a little bit. So now with this size, I can drag this across, and all of them at this length are going to be a proper C note when you hit the C. So they'll play the right note when you hit the specific key. And there you have a pretty good bass tone. So let's, that was with a snare. Let's just go ahead and drag in a tom. And once again, hit sustain. We've got these settings here. And come into the sample. Make sure it snaps off, and then just get right into the waveform. And this is a fun one to play with because it's a more complex sort of sound here. And we can come over here. Sometimes you got to play with the octaves a little bit. You could add a little drive. Change the decay time. Change the filter attack time. And now once again, you come in this sample, and we're going to detune this just a little bit. There. And now I can kind of move through this waveform as well. That's a cool tone. And that's all you got to do. Then you can just save the ones that you like. And you've got some great bass tones. You could, once again, use a different sample. Jump in. This is a pretty uniform sound here. So probably not going to give us as much variety. But we could come in here and see what type of tone we can get. Good stuff there. Because it's kind of more of a sine wave, we're not getting a lot of those extra frequencies here. And once again, we can now kind of drag around. So that's an interesting and you just kind of drag it around until you find a tone that you like. And there you go, you've got a bass sound. So try that out for yourself if you're trying to make some original bass tones. And I think you'll be surprised how many cool sounds you'll come up with really, really quick. And if you don't want to make your own, I've made a 25 bass sound rack here that's pretty cool. I've got a lot of different macros here that I set up for all of these. And you can just go through the chain selector and select different sounds. And yeah, you've got all these different parameters here that you can mess with the sound. So attack. A little more pluck. The type of filter, the filter drive. If your sound needs a little more sub, I've added an operator instrument here, so you can just turn this up and get more sub added to it. Probably need headphones to hear that. Yeah, and just a bunch of other different ways to slightly manipulate each of the sounds to get the most out of it. So I'm going to drop this in my producer's vault for all you Patreons. It's just $3 a month. I try to drop one download every week, and this is this week's. So feel free to grab that or make these on your own. It's really easy to do, and you could get some really interesting sounds.